Hello, everyone. I am Adam at Demiplane, and I am welcoming you to a very special Demiplane Dev Update and Community Q&A session here today, live from New York. I wanted everyone to be able to see Times Square behind me because we've got this really great view of incredible, Times Square just right behind us here. But the sun is not kind; it's in the wrong place right now, and so it was just gonna be a giant washed out light is all you would have been able to see. But we're live from New York. I am taking a trip with my sons and my sister actually this week to it's the first time that they have been able to see things like the Statue of Liberty. So we're gonna have a blast here this week. But I wanted to come and join you for a little while to give you some quick updates on what's going on the Demiplane side of the world, what's going on with our very recently announced Pathfinder Nexus, what is upcoming, and also answer as many questions as I can get to. So last week we went for about an hour because we had a jam-packed show where we had special guests and everything else. Typically, this dev update is going to be a brisk and light 30 minutes, and that's probably what we are targeting today. But I'm going to get to as many questions as I possibly can at the end of our time after I go through these updates. So let's talk about today's lineup, just where everyone is aware of what the agenda is going forward with our dev updates. And on that, we're always going to have latest updates. So talk about what has happened essentially within the last week on Demiplane. And then we are also going to talk about what is upcoming. So what are the roadmap items that we're working on? What are the priorities at this point in time? I want to disclaimer this heavily right now because software development is always changing. It is agile. It is, we really want to be able to make sure that we are nimble and brisk with what we're doing with development. And so sometimes these priorities are going to change, but that is part of the reason that we have these dev updates, is to be able to be pretty transparent with you out there and tell you what's going on and what we're currently working on. So we're going to get into that upcoming part of that today. And as I said, ask me anything. You can genuinely ask just about anything. I can't answer every single thing, but I do try to answer most of the questions that I possibly can get to. And you can do that right now in chat by typing in question ahead of the question. And we have a magical thing that is collecting those. And I'm making sure oh, yes, we already have questions coming through. That means that I hit the right button. So we're good to go on that. So you can ask those questions and we will get to those at the end of our time. Let's see if we can go forward here. Since doing this remote, it's a little bit different. To talk about latest updates, we do have a new stream schedule that debuted last week. So I want to get into that a little bit here too. But we have Demiplaner with B. Dave Walters on Mondays at 11 a.m. Pacific. This has really been an outstanding show so far. We've had incredible guests on. Deborah Ann Wall was on yesterday. I'm not sure who is next week because I'm on vacation, but I'm sure it's going to be an incredible guest. And keep an eye out for this show each and every week. And then the dev update where you are right now, we've got that on Tuesday mornings. And then Heroes of the Plains is that show has been going on for a few months now, 7 or 8 months maybe at this point. And we have all leveled up to level 20. And so this is good times, high level play going on. We've got, end of campaign kind of activities going on right now. Really, really exciting. So check that out on Tuesday nights. If you join in and you're completely new, you are likely to be completely lost, but you're probably going to be lost in the best of ways because this is a really, really fun crew that comes together to play each Tuesday night. So check that out and keep your eyes peeled on what is going on with Heroes of the Plains. So then next, last week, we kind of had a pretty big announcement with Pathfinder Nexus. That is the official digital tool set for Pathfinder. And we're really, really excited about where this is going already. We are excited about the response that we've seen in the last week. So thank you very much for that. Thank you for all the people who are already kicking tires and pouring through content and helping us understand, hey, this word is, off or misspelled. Like, let's go fix that. All of that feedback is incredibly valuable to us, and that is the reason that we have opened up early access at this point. But this is going to be launching early 2022. So, right now we've announced we've got some of that early access out there. We have a feedback cycle that we're going through, but we are really marching ahead towards full launch of what's going on with Pathfinder Nexus, and we couldn't be more thrilled to see that actualize before our very eyes. And then Pathfinder Actual Play Stream, we did not have a title as of last week when we announced this. I had P. Dave on to help us announce that, and this week I am proud to say that we have a title here. This is a very interesting title, but we've got a title here, and I am really intrigued about what direction this show is going to take now that I've seen this title. But the Claw Firm, Feather, Whisker, and Horn is the name of our show. And so that's going to be debuting at some point in early 2022 as well, closer to the full launch of Pathfinder Nexus. We have an incredible cast, as you can see, with Mark Meir, Jody Hauser, Eric C. Campbell, Erica Fermina, Blue Jay, and Xander Jeanre. So really, really love what we have coming together with that. I can't wait to see them play. I can't wait to see some incredible Pathfinder content out there. So yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. But that is what we announced as of last week. And then I want to talk a little bit now about some of the announcement takeaways. So announcement takeaways. And I think that the biggest thing for us is, first of all, we've been really thrilled with the overwhelming response. We've seen, in my past life, I lived through an announcement of another digital tool set for another game. And I remember it was really, really hard to be able to wake up on many of the mornings after that announcement happened and put a smile on my face, because there's just a lot of negativity. We live in an internet age where change and new things are sometimes difficult to embrace. And so it was, pretty, not to put too fine a point on it, harrowing experience. And one of the things that was just really, really great about this announcement is, it's still the internet out there. So of course, there was some interneting going on, but by and large, so much of a positive response, and it was such a thrill for us to see. And we love the vote of confidence that we've seen already to this stage, especially since it really is a situation where you ain't seen nothing yet, and because we haven't launched that. And that kind of brings me to the final musing that we have about our announcement last week that I will put out there that hopefully will help clarify some things. And that is that last week was an announcement and not a launch. And so we went into last Tuesday understanding that we were going to have a challenge with how we were trying to message what was going on. And so there was no way that we could announce this without having some form of early access here that then wouldn't be misleading into making people think that, hey, this is what Pathfinder Nexus is going to be. And so we knew that was going to be a challenge going in. And so I think that in some places we maybe effectively messaged that. We didn't in all the places. And so I think that one of the things that, I can really stress today is that last week was an announcement. We have a launch coming up here this winter, early 2022, as I've said. And at that point in time, that is where everyone is going to get a full picture of what Pathfinder Nexus is going to actually be. And it's just in this early access period, this is the time where we are inviting people, early adopters, people who love to, provide feedback and help people test things. this is where we're asking people to come in and help us make Pathfinder Nexus everything that we all want it to be. And so that is a really important distinction that we talked about ad nauseum before this announcement last week. And we definitely attempted to message that, but as we started seeing engaging with the community online, it became clear that that message wasn't getting out there fully. And so, we can take cues and learnings from that for sure, but ultimately want to say at this stage that that was an announcement last week. We're going to continue to add new things, new features, new opportunities for feedback all the way through this early access period until we get up to launch next early 2022. So again, we've got that as the target, and we are marching forward to that. And so we really appreciate all the help and the support that everyone's giving us, and we can't wait to see it all come together in the next few months. So then, talking about upcoming. So upcoming, what we are working on right now is, if you have checked out the compendium, the source compendiums where you can go into the free Pathfinder primer, core rulebook, any of those other sources. Check out Secrets of Magic. I'm really, really happy with Secrets of Magic. It's just such a beautiful book in its hardcover form, and I love what we've been able to do with that in the digital form to try to capture some of that really unique and look and feel. But ultimately, with those products, you might have been reading through there. You came across a spell, a magic item, creature, whatever that game rule was that you came through. And you were probably thinking to yourself, man, I wish this had a tooltip where I could hover over and see a little, card synopsis of what's going on, or where I could click this and I could have this open up in the sidebar. And that is exactly what we're working on now. And so one of the things that you'll see, coming soon is game rule tooltips being added into the digital reader. And again, this is exactly what I was explaining, that as you come down, if you see the fireball spell, you're going to see that it has a special call out where that is a tooltip. On desktop, you'll be able to hover over. One of the things that we are addressing and fixing when it comes to tooltips on mobile is that often when tooltips exist on mobile, and other tools that I've seen out there, you're not able to do a hover effect on mobile. And so therefore it takes you away from the page where you're on, and it takes you, drills you down into the detail page for that item or that element. And what we are going to be doing here is opening a sidebar on mobile, which is going to be really, really handy. And you'll see that as that comes, but that is what we are currently working on getting in. From a content perspective, you'll also see that throughout the course of early access, all of the rest of Pathfinder content will be added to Pathfinder Nexus. And I am going to go ahead and throw out there something for, even my own accountability, because I am, heading up the team that is working on this content to make this, be available on the platform. And our current target is before the end of this calendar year that we will have all of the currently released Pathfinder content caught up on Pathfinder Nexus. And so I will go ahead and say that that is a pretty ambitious goal, but we really are going to be moving very, very quickly to get this content available in the digital reader, and in the compendium listings as they come out in the second phase, which I'll talk about in a second, and of course eventually into the character management piece of this. So we're going to be working really, really hard. Lost Omens is where we are going to go next with that, and then we will follow that up with adventures. And so we're going to likely do standalone adventures after Lost Omens, and then we will move into adventure paths, and those will be added. And of course, as these things are added, once we have tooltips in, once we eventually have annotations in, which are something that we're going to be adding to the digital reader, all of those things will work with this content that we will be adding in parallel to that. So that is, the bulk of the work that is going on as of today. And then in the future, talking about the early access phases for Pathfinder Nexus, We do have the digital reader. As I said, tooltips, annotations are something that are going to be added there. We will continue to fine tune that feature. So I want to be clear that what is currently available for the digital reader is not its final form either. So we're going to be working on that through early access. And then compendium listings. So this is going to a /spells page that has all the spells on it. It's going to have advanced filtering. It's going to have the capability to find what you are looking for. If something has the concentrate, trait, whatever it is that you are looking for, you'll be able to find it in these listings. And we're going to start introducing those as the next big phase of what's happening here in early access. And then finally, we've got character management. And character management is definitely the cornerstone of what we're putting together here. But so lots and lots that we are doing with character management. I can't wait for everyone to see it. But we are, of course, conceptualizing everything that's going on here. We're trying to make this in a way that it is as open of a system as we can make it, because we understand that customization is incredibly vital and important for these games, and especially with a game like Pathfinder, you have to be able to do that. And so we're putting all of those things together as well, and that will be the final major phase of early access. And we again, the plan is to get that out within early 22 is our target that we're marching toward here. But we will keep everyone completely up to date all along the way, keep everyone posted on all the things. You can definitely see that here in these dev updates. We will also be shouting new feature releases into early access from the rooftops of social media, Discord, our forums, everywhere else that we have interaction with the community. All right, I think that covers everything from the upcoming perspective. We've got some time for questions, so I'm going to transition over to that, and hopefully everything is still working here. Yeah, so if you have questions, feel free to ask those. I will get through what we have here, and if others come in, we'll tackle those too. And if we get done early, then I'm not going to complain about that, and I will hit the city here. All right, let's see. We got Cassius 335. When does Demiplane get Twitch emotes? Need at least a version of the logo. That is a good call out, and I am pretty sure that we got Twitch partner 3 hours before we announced Pathfinder Nexus, maybe last week. So it was incredibly quick right before we had a whirlwind of activity last week. So yes, we will certainly have emotes that will be coming to Twitch, and we'll keep everyone posted on that very important question there. Arkenforge, will Nexus have an API? This is something we've been waiting for from Beyond for years now. But with Paizo being a lot more open, we're hoping there will be something that we can hook into to let users pull their characters from Nexus. So can't get into all the details of this yet, but we are aware of some of the differences in the ecosystem, of course, and we are very dedicated here at Demiplane to doing anything that we can do to make playing these games better. And so we are very concerned with, letting people play the way that they want to play, and trying to find ways to add value and enhance that play experience. And so that is all a very fluffy, philosophical sounding way to say that we're going to explore all of those options. I can't say explicitly right now that yes, we will have an API and it will look like X, Y, or Z, but it is something that we have been considering from day zero on all of this, and it's something that we're going to do the best that we can to make the interaction with the different tools that you're wanting to use as easy as it possibly can be. We do believe that what we're doing here with Pathfinder Nexus is going to provide this content in a way that it really fills a lot of gaps from what or for what people are looking for out there. And so we think that it is a great starting point, and being able to pull content from Nexus into other places that you might want to use it makes a ton of sense. And it's something that we will pull that thread and see where that goes. All right, Nave Segal, Nave Segal. Sorry if I am completely butchering that username, but will Pathfinder Nexus support the official variant rules? This is a great question, and the answer is yes. We want that to happen. We can also say that Pathfinder has a ton of variant rules already to this stage, right? And so all of that is going to be prioritized based on, we need to make sure that the core rules are as firm as they can be. And then we will tackle variant or optional rules in a priority based on their popularity and the demand that we're seeing out in the community. And so if you have variant rules that you really enjoy using, then by all means let us know about that in our forums, Discord, wherever we have touch points there. But ultimately, things like a free archetype, for instance, we understand that many groups play with that out there. And so I can't say 100% for certain, but it would not surprise me if that was something that was ready from the get-go, because we understand its importance and its prevalence in what people are playing out there. There will be others that would fall into that category. So those are all the things that we're thinking right now, and we're going to do the best that we can to provide that coverage. Another very important thing for me to put out there is that we are doing our best to create an engine for character creation where even if you're using optional rules that are not white glove supported within the system, that they would still be possible within the system because of the flexibility that we're trying to put in place. I'm not going to pretend that that's easy, but it's definitely what we are thinking of as we're starting to put all of this together. So we'll keep you posted on all of that, but that's some of the rationale that is going on in our heads as we are approaching those things. Party of Two RPG, is there a plan for integrating with VTTs for Nexus? And so I think this is related to the question before it with the API, but at the end of the day, we have no current plans. And by the way, this is not some cryptic thing for me to say. I am honestly saying that we don't have current plans for a VTT, but our mission is to make games better. And so if we come to a stage in the life cycle of our company and the life cycle of what's going on with Pathfinder Nexus, and we determine that making a VTT is the right way for us to have the biggest impact on helping games, then we never say never. We can't just say no to that. But I can transparently say right now that we have no current plans for that. We believe that there are many VTTs out there that are doing good job. There are many that aren't doing the trick for us, right? And it seems like there is a new VTT popping up every week. I see something new on Reddit. And so it's a pretty crowded space right now, and many people are really trying to put their best foot forward there. And so we understand that many groups like to use virtual tabletops. And so, yeah, it makes a ton of sense for us to make what we're doing with Pathfinder Nexus be able to interact with how people are wanting to play on virtual tabletops. And we will see what form that ends up taking as we go along. But it's, for much of that, there might be some, actual official partnerships there. We're not ruling that out. But again, we also are trying to make this in a way where we have some flexibility that people can make some of those integrations out in the community, depending on which VTTs that they enjoy and which ones they're wanting to support. Because at the end of the day, with the 100 VTTs that I could probably list down on a spreadsheet somewhere, we're not going to be able to cover all 100 of those. But yeah, we will see what makes the most sense that's going to have the biggest impact for improving games out there. The heck. One of the big problems with D&D Beyond was the inability to create custom classes. Do you plan to allow homebrewed classes? Will there be some kind of scripting languages for homebrewed content to allow for more complex interactions? I can't, completely go into all those details yet, but your line of thinking is a solid line of thinking, and we understand. I am intimately aware of some of the challenges and barriers that have been present in some of the other digital support that's available out there, and so we are doing our best to learn from the great things that have come before us, and to make things again as customizable and flexible as we can going forward. Charlie Limbs. Will players have access to all character options? If not, would they be able to purchase character options specifically, or will they have to purchase entire source books? This is a great question. It's something we haven't talked about much yet, but component purchases will absolutely be a thing on Pathfinder Nexus. And so if a player, so first of all, there will be content sharing a little further down the road. We haven't been able to share the details of that because, quite frankly, they're not just completely finalized, and we're not ready to implement those yet. And so we want to make sure that nothing changes before we do. But the thing that I can say with a ton of certainty is that content sharing will be a thing, because we want to simulate that ability to buy a book and be able to share that around the table however you need to. And so that will be present with Pathfinder Nexus. And outside of that, if a player is wanting an option to play a summoner from Secrets of Magic, and that is not unlocked on their account, they would be able to unlock just the summoner without purchasing the entire book. Yes, those component level purchases will be a thing, and we are providing those for flexibility. In my former life there, went through a big discussion about, hey, I don't want you introducing microtransactions to my, tabletop RPGs. And, truthfully, I guess it qualifies as a microtransaction from the standpoint of, it's a small transaction, in that sense of the word. But at the end of the day, all of that, those component level purchases are about flexibility, and it's about trying to, give players the ability to, again, if they want to play that summoner, but they don't want to spend, the money on the entire book because, maybe that's not something that's going to be meaningful for them, then we are providing that option. It's certainly not something that people are forced into. It is an option for the flexibility to allow them to purchase and unlock what they need to be able to play the game. Got the heck again. Content sharing, will it be a thing? Do you have any idea of the pricing structure, subscription, one-time fee? Not ready to talk about all those details, as I said, yet, but there will be more details on that soon. And we understand that content sharing is an incredibly appealing part of what some systems have done out there, and we will. Our philosophy is to at least do the good things that are out there and try to do them better. And so yeah, we're going to be sharing more details on content sharing before too much longer. Then we got Arc and Forge. Is there potential to expand to other Paizo properties, or is the intention to be Pathfinder 2E only? So this is a great question. And so what I can say is we have the license for Starfinder, and we are not ready to share any announcements on Starfinder, but I don't think it's much of a secret after last week, or it's nothing that we want to be too tongue-in-cheek about. We would love to do a Starfinder Nexus, and that would be something that I think if we can establish a foothold here with Pathfinder Second Edition, then Starfinder Nexus is something that would find its way onto our roadmap for sure. And as far as first edition, we've seen some people asking about first edition. We have no current plans for first edition, but that doesn't mean, as I said earlier, with API support or VTT support, it doesn't mean that that's an always decision. It's just, currently that is not on our roadmap. But if we end up seeing the kind of response, that we would like to see with what we're doing here with Nexus, then we would reevaluate and see where that takes us. But Starfinder makes a ton of sense, and we'll see where that goes in the coming months. All right, I got a couple more minutes maybe here. Rex Verdi, did you dress up for Halloween? So actually, this is the first year in a very long time that I did not dress up for Halloween. And but I will say that I dress up a lot other times of the year. So it's not that I'm saying Halloween isn't special, but I do a lot of dressing up at other times. And so in the month of October, I dressed up multiple times, but I did not do it on Halloween. I was actually prepping to take this trip here with my sons to New York. One of them sitting here very quietly right now, and tapping his foot, wanting to go hit the city. But yeah, so ultimately with that, we were for Halloween this year, we did a movie night. We watched Little Shop of Horrors, and because we were in a musical mood. But no dressing up this year on Halloween. Other times of the month, I dressed up probably 3 or 4 times. All right, and 2 more questions. I'll get through these real quick, and then we'll close out for today. K Malsum, will third-party content become available? Excellent question. And all I can say at this stage is that is something that we would like to see. And so I think that, as we move forward, we're going to have to, figure out and confirm all of those details. But it is absolutely something that Demiplane wants to see. I love third-party content, and I think it adds so much to all of the great games out there. And so, again, our intent is to make playing these game sessions better, and we think that they would be better with third-party content available. So no actual confirmation details to share, but that is something that we would love to see on our side, and we'll see how it goes. And then Party of 2 RPG, will there be a way for homebrewed content to be uploaded to Nexus and shared with other creators? Again, to be confirmed, all the details there, but all of that makes a ton of sense. And yes, it's something that we want to see. And just Demiplane in general, we see Demiplane becoming a place for creators as we move forward. And that would also apply to Pathfinder Nexus. So no details I can share. We're just too early at this stage, but it is something that we're looking for. And then one last question that came through: where is the sweet tea? There is no sweet tea that I've been able to find in this otherwise wonderful place. But I'm sure there's a Popeyes or something somewhere that I can dig some up if I get really bad off. But yeah, nothing so far. But so far I'm also surviving. So appreciate you checking in on me on that. That looks like we've gotten through all the questions for today, and we're just a little over my 30-minute mark. So we're going to go ahead and close out. I really appreciate everyone spending some time with me today. I can't wait to see what is going to happen with Pathfinder Nexus and with Demiplane, larger than that going forward. We have so much in store that I can't wait to, talk about even in the next couple of months. There are other big things going on outside of Pathfinder Nexus. So stay tuned on Tuesdays here for dev updates. We'll share more and more about that. And we'll spend time with us on the forums if you're in early access. Even if you're just using, the free content out there, we would love to hear from you. We appreciate all the feedback that we've already gotten, and that is what's going to make Pathfinder Nexus really, really great. So thanks for that. I'm going to go hit the city out here, maybe see, statues of liberties and, those kind of things. Hope everyone has a great week. We'll catch you later, Gators.